Hello YouTube, how are you doing today? My name is Dollface. Thanks for stopping by my channel. I know I've been kind of absent as of lately with my videos and I really have to apologize for that. I know I said that I would try to do my best to get videos out whenever I can, but I understand that I could, try a little better with that. I just had a lot of things going on right now, things both great and small, and I'm going to try and do my best to get out a lot more content. So thanks for sticking by me, or thanks for coming by for the first time if you're new. It honestly, some of it has to do with a little bit of fear and anxiety with posting these videos. I'm not used to this at all. I'm quite introverted, so doing something like this is very brand new for me. I get really nervous, and even when I'm pumped up and ready to do a video, as soon as I press the play button, I just start getting nervous and my throat gets tight and I start getting sweaty. So a lot of the things that you see here on this video is after multiple takes of me stumbling over my words or getting tongue-tied or my tongue caught in my throat. So I really appreciate your patience, and I will try to do better. I will do better for both you and for myself. So as the title mentions, we're going to be doing the review of the second installment of the All Souls Trilogy, Shadow of Night by Deborah Harkness. And I'm just gonna get straight into it. And I want this to be a conversational piece, so I want to hear what you think in the comments about a lot of the issues that are arise out of this book. The first thing I wanted to talk about was the clarification of how witches are addressed in this universe. I understand that in Harry Potter, a male is a wizard and a female is a witch. However, in the Hollow series by Kim Harrison, witch and wizards are not so much classified by gender. They don't classify people as such, but it's used as a rank. So witch would be the highest and wizard would be I guess a beginner or a novice. However, in Shadow of Night, the author goes back and forth between calling males and females witches and wizards, and I didn't understand that in the beginning. At one point, Diana says that she would really appreciate the help from a fellow witch. However, she's talking to a man when she says that. When she's talking about another person, she refers to him as a wizard. Now, the congregation that exists within the story has to have 3 demons, 3 vampires, and 3 witches. However, Peter Knox is a male and he sits as the head of the witches' table in the congregation. So I have to think, do you refer to the class or the species as witches? Is that their pronoun? Is that their classification? But then when you speak to a singular male, to him or about him, is he considered a wizard? But then if you were to combine 1 male wizard and 3 female witches, are they all considered witches? So I'm going to assume that's the way it works in this universe. If you have any other kinds of explanations, I'd like to hear about them in the comments. The second thing that I wanted to talk about, the time when Peter Knox went to go visit the other gentleman, I forgot what his name is, but I think his name was Pavel, and he worked for him in the library. And Pavel had the misfortune of finding out some really good information for Peter Knox. And so, you just when you watch a movie or something and someone just happens to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and you just hope and pray that please don't hurt that person. They really have nothing to do with this. Just leave them alone. And then they end up getting hurt because of it or end up getting killed. And this was one of those times when he got all the information that he could from Pavel. I guess using his witch's magic, he located a clot that was located in Pavel's thigh and moved the clot up to his brain and caused a stroke. That is horrifying to me. That is terrible. And not only did he do that, but he left him there. And he called the act regrettable. It terrified me because you can do something like mentally cripple someone, mentally damage someone, and then call the act regrettable. And it was so easy for him to do it. I myself am really terrified of brain injuries because you can break an arm, you can break a leg, you can get other kinds of injuries that will in time heal. But the brain, your head, if you hurt that bad enough, it can cause irreparable damage. And that shuts everything down. The brain is your powerhouse, your brain and your heart. One time I remember I fell down a flight of stairs and I got a concussion, and it was the worst feeling in the world. I was dizzy and I was nauseous for days. I couldn't focus, and it was a bad time because it was in college. I felt like I was having an out-of-body experience, and I felt like my body just didn't belong to me, and it was horrible, and I felt dependent on anyone who was taking care of me. It honestly kind of shook me to my core to know that he could do something like that. And then just the way he says, like, you know, it would be long before someone would find him, and even if they did find him, nothing could be done to save him. You mean to tell me that murder has to be the way to go about just getting rid of people? Like, I'm pretty sure that with all of, you know, vampires, demons, and witches, biological and genetic advancements, somebody's found out a way to obliviate memory, you know, or just like, you know, just put it in the back of your head. Like, why do we need to kill people? It's like Gillian Chamberlain all over again. Innocent people getting hurt or killed. I felt this way at the very last 2 pages when we find out that M died. I was so shocked when I found out that M died. I had no idea. I was upset. I was genuinely upset because between M and Sarah, I was leaning more towards M because I kind of resonated with her more. She was just the one who's always making sure that everyone was taken care of, saying, another person in the house, come on in. I'm not sure how big their house was. It was like 20 people in there at one time, but it's like the burrow from Harry Potter. It just kept making room for more people. So I'm like, okay, so I just imagine M as this warm spirit that I just connected with and someone who I would like to get to know. And to find out that M had died because of something that happened in this war, it just made no sense to me, which is war is senseless. Violence is senseless. Third thing that I wanted to discuss is Diana's pregnancy. I know I'm going to seem like a horrible person for saying this, and this is not relating to any real person, but just in Diana's case, I don't feel bad that Diana lost her baby. And the reason why I say this is because I don't believe she deserved it or anything, or, you know, she was a bad person. No. I don't feel any way because the characters didn't feel any way, and the author didn't make us feel any way about it. When we find out that Diana's pregnant, it just seems so whatever to me. Or the way that Diana went about it, Matthew's like, are you pregnant? And Dan is like, yeah, I missed my period. I thought I might be. So yeah, I am. And I'm just like, hello? You're pregnant? Are you at least scared? Are you angry? Are you nervous? It wasn't anything. So because she didn't have a reaction to it, I didn't have a reaction to it. And I didn't know what to think. So I'm like, okay, I guess she's pregnant then. And so then we learned that Diana lost the baby. What's even sadder about this revelation is because they had to keep a baby secret, everyone's thinking you dodged a bullet. You know, you don't have to raise Diana's bastard child. And how do you feel when people are telling you that and it's really your child? This is not Matthew's first dead child. It's like he has this theme about being cursed throughout this whole second book, and it just comes back to haunt him again. Like, I can't have a child. I cannot have a child to raise and to love and to protect. They're always being taken away from me by some way or another. It just wasn't meant to be. And I felt for him, and that must have been hard. I know that the creation of this child was not supposed to happen, but how did the baby die? What was it that made it so that this baby couldn't live anymore? Was it because it was already a crossbreeding of 2 different species that made the fetus unviable in the first place? Or maybe it's because Diana's in Elizabethan England and her dietary lifestyle and the sanitation aren't up to par with 21st century. Maybe, and this is the one, a theory, is it because she was still working with the Countess of Pembroke when she was pregnant? She and the Countess are working in alchemy, and that's a lot of chemicals and things that a pregnant woman shouldn't be around. like mercury. So I'm like, maybe that could have had something to do with it. I don't want to say that she should have known better, but she should have known better, you know? Like, I'm sorry, but if I'm working with plutonium and then I find out that I'm pregnant, I'm kind of gonna stop working with like dangerous, hazardous chemicals, like things that are radioactive and things that could poison me. Like, did they have gloves? I don't know. I don't know. So I'm just like, okay, well, she lost the baby and that sucked. That was horrible. That was terrible. But I'm just like, I feel bad for her, but I'm just like, well, that happened. That was a thing. Now we can get back to the other 10 storylines. Matthew's mother, she's like, you're glowing. Are you pregnant? Yes, I am pregnant again with twins. And I'm just like, wait, what? This is stupid. And it's like, how are you going to unveil this in the last like 3 chapters or 3 pages of the book? Diana's pregnant again with twins. And it's like, yeah, twins run in my family. And I'm like, you just found out about this in the last book for like 1 page. And we never talked about this again. So all of a sudden, twins run in my family. And it's like, well, don't forget what happened to your so-called twin. Remember, you absorbed your twin in the womb, and that's why you have male DNA in you that has more markers for certain witch traits that you weren't supposed to have. So don't get too excited because you might in the end just have 1 baby again. I'm not wishing that on her. I'm just saying. And one last thing before I sign off. Sophie and Nathaniel are 2 demons that have joined the Convecticle, which is basically the anti-congregation, and their baby is a witch. So is their baby going to be just a regular baby, just a witch born to 2 demons? Or is she going to be like Flurry Heart from My Little Pony, where she's got like super special powers? Like, Flurry Heart in My Little Pony is an alicorn, and our alicorns just aren't born. I don't really know pony lore all that much, but from watching the show, you have to be made into an alicorn. So is Margaret, is she super special and have like awesome powers from being that way, or is she just a baby? Because if she's just a baby, I don't want to have like the whole first half of the next book be about this baby that just ain't special. Just saying. It's going to take me a while to start reading the 3rd book, the Book of Life, because at my local library, they just don't have it in a physical copy. So I've been waiting since July 2nd. I put my hold for that book on my Kindle since July 2nd, and I'm still number 2 of 25. So it's going to take me a little while to get that review out. I actually finished reading this book a while ago, but again, reasons big and small why I didn't do this video a lot sooner. A part of it was also because I'm not enjoying this book so much. So I don't really want to talk about it unless I'm talking about it with you, then I have someone to talk about it with. So please, let's start a discussion in the comments. Like, you know, tell me what you don't like, tell me what you do like, tell me what you'd like to see in the next book, tell me what things you're tired of, what things you can't get enough of. And I really hope to see you in the next video. Take care, you guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.